We're going to start with our blocks on the high level, about shoulder width apart, or actually not shoulder width, a little bit wider so that the hips and the legs can get through. One of my favorite things, Halasana. Grip into the blocks, lift the knees up, pull the knees into the chest. You're going to extend the legs out forward and slowly lower down for 5. Press it up, lower. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the feet down, slide it back, lower chaturanga. Pull it up, tops of the feet, knees into the chest, extend out, lower, dip, back, chaturanga for 2, up, extend, dip, back, chaturanga, 3, out, dip, 4, chaturanga, up, out, dip, 5, bring it back, chaturanga. Stay on the top of the feet, come to this upward plank. Hold it here, nice and strong, engage, tuck the tailbone, engage through the core. Wrap the triceps in. So doing it this way adds in a little bit more core, and instead of pressing the tops or into the toes, we really have to use the feet to keep the core engaged. Hold it here, nice and high. Slow down the breath. Press up to the center heart a little bit more. Tendency is to start to sag down, especially when the arms start to get weak and shaky and the core starts to go. We're only a minute 30 into this, and already challenging. Bend the arms, lower, almost all the way down. Find the negative of our chaturanga. Press it up super high for 10. Stay on the top of the feet. Lower, almost touch. 9, lower, still top of the feet. 8, lower. 7, doing good. 6,
Fuck me.
5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Hold. Draw the knees into the chest, lift the feet up into our little Takhalasana. Press out, lift the hips up. Engage, slide it back. Bring it in, take it out. Slide in, crunch, extend out, lift up. In,
Whoops.
back, plank, up, forward, lift, back. Draw it in. Go 5 more. In and back. 4, back. 3, back. 2, slide it back. Last one. Bring it back. Plank pose lower. Chaturanga. Press up. Pull it all the way up to your forward fold. Inhale up. Exhale. Lower. Chaturanga. Feel it.
Hey guys, I hope you're well. I just thought I would introduce the program. I'm doing, excuse me, Dylan Warner Strength Evolution. I'm struggling today. I noticed I lost a fair bit of strength when I was in America because I didn't have a lot of what I usually use, and I didn't have the space in which to create some of the programs. So programs like this have been off for nearly 6 weeks. Didn't have blocks in the States. So I've really noticed my strength is lacking, and I've started to redo these programs, and I can tell you it's a little frustrating because some of my strength used to be a lot stronger. But the point is that I am who I am today. I'm not who I was yesterday, and I'm not sure who I'll be tomorrow. That is only dictated by what I do today. So I can't judge myself off my previous bests or my previous worsts. I can only judge myself on what I do showing up today. So I'm sharing with you a struggling journey of rebuilding some of the strength I now lack, although I gain flexibility whilst I'm away, but I like to keep it building in unison. So now I am going to shake my way through to building my strength again with programs like this. So people ask how someone like me gets strong. Well, this is all it takes, a little bit of body weight workouts. So you don't need some magic thing, you just need this time some socks, You can do the moonwalk if you want with your socks, have a little fun, and whatever else the workout involves. So I will just catch up to the 2 reps and then keep going. I just wanted to introduce the program a little bit. I think he was at 3.
So toes, slide up, forward fold. Bring it down, chaturanga, up, 3, down, chaturanga, up, 4, bring it back, 5, using a lot of core here.
And arms and chest.
6, 7, last 3, 8, 9, last 1, 10. Take your block, turn it on its side. It's nice here to use your mat too. You can double it up if you want for your knee. Bring your right foot down onto it, slide out and extend. Come into a lizard lunge, but using the block a little bit so we can get more depth into this. If you need to, come on.
And who knew flexibility becomes a joy?
Or elbows or hands, whatever the flexibility is taking you there. Feel free to go there. You know, adjust into it. This is one of these poses I get into, and I kind of move a lot because I'm trying to feel into my body and really feel what feels good to get deep into and what needs to be touched. So we're just going to hold here for about a minute. Crawl the arms forward if you like. Try not to let the right knee open up too much, but it doesn't need to be hugging into the center, but just so we're not completely open up into the outer hip and we're still working our way down into this. There's nothing wrong with opening the knee up, but it's just a different pose than what we're trying to work into right now. Last about 10 seconds. Walk the hands back, take the foot off, move your mat off to the side. Round 2.
Round 2. Ooh.
Take the blocks again.
So just so you know, what I want you to get from this is that this is the hard work you don't see behind the videos and the pictures. So you see these perfect pictures and you see these fantastic magical videos where they're doing completely or extraordinary things, but these struggles that you're seeing me go through now is what every single person is doing, those awe-inspiring stuff that you're inspiring to be, whether it's in fitness or some other domain of life. So step back away from trying to say what's the magic training program that's going to get me a six-pack, or the magic training program that's going to get me super flexible, or the magic math program that's going to make you me a numbers whiz. And just start putting in the work. That's your answer. The work is your answer. It's not there is no perfection. There is no life without struggle. Struggle is part of the growth of life, and without struggle we'd all have ordinary lives. Struggle is actually the most exciting part about growth because it determines what you want. It determines if you really want what you're striving for or not. And if you don't really want it, it also gives you the ability to say, okay, that wasn't really what I was searching for, but here's what I am searching for, and find it out with the discovery of the challenges and failures. So struggles are what we need to grow, to be better humans, to find the life that we really want in life. So stop looking at it as something that's stopping you, and start looking at it as something that's helping you find who you are and create the life that you want, and also the strengths that you need to get through to the life that you want.
Up onto the high level, a little bit wider than the hips.
Oh God, I don't know if I got another one in me.
Press into the hands. Make sure that you're really working on bringing the triceps in so that we can engage through the chest. When the arms are out like this, we lose a lot of strength. We lose a lot of strength and a lot of muscle recruitment. So hug in, squeeze it in, even though it feels like you want to go the opposite direction. Press into the hands, lift the knees up, extend the legs out. Just 5 little dips. Dip it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1. Bring the knees in, extend it back. Plank pose, nice and high, top of the feet. Really engage through the core. Slide the knees in, stand out, dip, go for 5. Back to plank, pull it in, dip, 4, back to plank, pull it in, dip, 3, back to plank. Core is working.
Everything's working.
2, good planks every time.
Except for my spine.
Last 1. Hold on the top of the feet. Let the core
Everything
really
is
start
so
working.
fucking shaky.
If you didn't feel it on the first time, guarantee you're feeling it on this one.
Yep.
Breathe, slow it down. Tuck the tailbone. Press up. Slow down. Slow down the mind. The arms are shaking. Soften. Press up, engage. You got this. Be with the sensation.
Okay.
Bend the arms, lower chaturanga. All the way down, nice and negative. Press it back up. 10, 9, 8, 7. Tops of the feet. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slide in, draw the knees into the chest. Extend the legs out. Lift it up. Reverse plank. Slide it back. Every time back in this position. Up to the top for 5. In. Forward. Lift up.
Whoop.
4. In. Shift forward. Lift up. Back. Every time press it up. 3. In. Lift up. 2. Last 1. Come on to the tops of the feet so we're on the toes. Lower chaturanga. Slide up uttanasana. Go for 10. Bend. 9. 8. 7.
Oh.
6. Use your core to pull yourself up.
So let me tell you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, fuck, this is really annoying. This really came naturally to me before, and now I'm like struggling, and I'm really thinking I'm disappointed in myself, but I'm also thinking I'm very proud of myself because I spent all morning doing my other things of work and stuff to avoid doing this. I usually train early in the morning, so there's 2 mindsets here going on. One, I'm a freaking failure is my thought pattern because I really wanted to do all this that I used to be able to do, or the other one, which I'm going to reside in because it makes me stronger. I'm really proud of myself for doing this workout and showing you my struggles because it's kind of embarrassing to a human. It's very vulnerable, and it's also embarrassing to get over your ego and show people that you're struggling. So we'll go with the second thought, and that's often how I get through my struggles, is that I pat myself on the back for not giving up, even though I have all these negative thoughts that I'm also a failure, for having the courage to try anyway. So maybe this helps you guys to feel more normal, and also not so much on Strugglesville. You're not alone. I can't even remember the number. We'll go to 7. I'm just gonna bang it out myself. And tomorrow, I think don't expect me to lift my arms above this position.
4. For your knee, if that's helpful for you, put your left foot on top of the block.
Alright.
Slide the right foot back. And work your way down slowly onto the forearms. Hug in. Try to keep the big toe mound of the left foot grounded. It's alright if the knee opens up. It's really hard to keep it just straight in, but if you have it, you can. And work slowly into it. slowly into the hips. You can slide back through the right leg even more. Take your time to catch your breath before we get into the next sequence. And try not to think ahead into what's coming next. Just be right here. Take the blocks, when you keep them on the medium level this time, take your butt to, it's about the end of your mat. And the blocks are about hips distance apart. Sorry, medium level's right about here.
If I'm not mistaken, this exercise blows balls. I know that I'm going to struggle. One of the things I also do is I listen to my body. And you saw me doing a puppy pose stretch because my shoulders are super tight from regaining the strength, so even though Dylan's doing some stretches, I like to also listen to my body and find the stretches that work for me. And that's very important because what's good for one body isn't good for another body. And also it helps you to understand and know your body, because we need to use training products and then make them our own. And training programs and nutrition that feel good for us, because everything's going to feel good in different capacities for others. It's great, you can see how dirty your socks are. So this program's on Cody app, and what I advise you when you're training, and what I always do is follow the foundational movements and then make them into my movements that feel better for my body and more sound, because my movements aren't sound for you and your movements aren't sound for me, but with your awareness and body understanding, you can make a similar movement that works, better for you as a human. And that's more important than trying to aim for perfect. Feeling your body and not injuring it is way more important.
You can always modify, go high, go low, depending on what your flexibility is.
Not sure I want to do this.
For me, this kind of feels comfortable. Make sure your mat's behind you, roll onto your back, keep the hands on the blocks, bring your feet to the back of the mat, and roll up, try to keep the legs straight, press up, right up into a forward fold, and then slide back down. Feet back, go 10 of these, up, use 1, here's 9,
10,
back,
isn't 2 enough?
8, lots of core, 7, these are really good to help you learn how
These
to
are great for press. But doing 10 in a row sucks
6,
for your muscles.
5, feeling it now.
Yeah.
4, last 3, 3, sliding all over the place here. Ooh, get it. 2,
Even Dylan's struggling.
pull it up.
And he's incredible. Okay.
1, hang forward, slide it back, nice and slow. Come into plow pose. If plow's something you don't feel comfortable with, you can just take legs up the wall or modify however you do in your normal practice. If you feel comfortable with it, then this is a great place to be. Support the low back.
It's great to have your stomach rolls open. Hello.
Only here for a few.
I don't really understand why people stress about them so much, because in any position you have them, especially in yoga.
Slowly onto the back. Counter with just a little fish pose to open up through the throat. And relax down. Hug the knees in, rock it up. Alright, we'll take the mat and move it out of our way.
Not sure if that's a good idea.
Enough so it's not going to hinder you at all. Take your blocks, we'll move them up onto the tall height. If you want, you know, depending on the flexibility, you can always move and adjust these, or even double them up, because some of the stuff that we're going to do right now, it takes a lot of flexibility, and it's really hard. With anything, flexibility or strength, just take it to your limit and try not to go past
If Dylan said it's really hard and it's painful.
And kind of a Ardha Uttanasana or halfway
But
forward.
what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Just like we did
When
in
done well.
the other video, we'll start by sliding our feet out, coming into basically about as wide as you can. And try to keep your hips forward towards the blocks. Use the inner legs to pull it forward. Go right leg forward, moving down towards our splits. Not all the way down, but take it down pretty good distance, or wherever you feel much resistance. Back up, then lower, chaturanga. Take it up, come out, 2, up, splits, up, chaturanga. Bring it out. Up for 3. Feet out. Slide it up. Really using a lot of adductors here. 4. Out. In. Forward. Up. 5. Out.
Problem is your arms are dead too, and he does
6.
everything so fast.
Slide. 7. 8.
So when I find an instructor like Dylan so fast, and I see that I'm lacking my technique, I just put him on pause. Make sure he pauses in some position that looks like funny face, keeps you smiling, and then I continue my movements with technique, because technique is much more important than racing, than speed. Whew. I think this is 9. I don't know, blondes can't count very well. Anyway, this blonde. Many blondes are very smart. It's the last one. I want to stay in splits. So many push-ups here. It's killing me.
9. Last one. We're just going to hold for full splits. Take it to your limit. You know, today I'm feeling extra tight. It's okay, you got 2 blocks here. You can use it, set it down underneath. You know, this has always been my tighter side, and I have to keep it. To remind myself to stay humble through the practice, even though some days I can take myself a lot deeper. Days like this, where filming and working all day, my body's extra tight. And so, even though gotta ask ourselves how much of it's the ego that wants to take us deeper, and how much is it the body allowing us to take ourselves deeper. So really only take yourself to what you feel comfortable with. This could be one of those really super intense poses. If you need to put a mat underneath your back knee, feel free to do that.
If you want to know, I used to not be able to do the splits. This was impossible. So now I really enjoy that I can just sit here comfortably.
Some of the other stuff.
Because I know how much work it took. It took about 3 years to get here. So I'm going to enjoy every moment of comfortability in a horrible pose that once was.
Onto the blocks. Set the butt down. And bring the blocks to the high level. Now these are really challenging, but do the best
these
that
suck.
you can.
Suck good though.
Up onto the blocks.
So all the things you don't like are the ones that you really need.
Up, bring the knees to the chest, and then lift the butt as high as you can. We're going to hold this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. If you notice, this is all core to get
just off the ground.
Just. It's okay.
It's better than nothing though.
As high as you can go. And as high as you can go is as high as you can go.
Still feeling training from 2 days ago.
Is what that is. So again, elbows on the blocks. You're going to feel wobbly based on how your pressure is. So try not to let the blocks move, but keep the pressure going straight down.
Okay.
Draw your knees in, lift the butt as high as you can go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
so
2.
I can only get 5, so I want another 5 because I don't want to ruin the 10-second rep. I still want to be able to do 10 seconds again eventually, although I'm strong, I'm a different kind of strong, so I do another 5. So even if you can't do the full 10, break it down 5 and 5. Can't do the full 50 reps, break it down 10 reps, 10 reps, 10 reps, 10 reps, 10 reps. There's no quitting, there's no failing, that's just doing the best you can for the time that you are now. I don't even know if I can get up, I'm like, shake. Concentrate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, even though it's just off, it's still working the same thing to build the endurance and strength because I didn't cut it in half the repetitions that I was doing.
Take it up. Move through a little bit through chaturanga stuff here.
You got it.
Start with the blocks on the highest level.
I don't know if my arms can do anymore.
We're going to lower chaturanga.
Need to see what he's doing.
Take the block,
Okay.
move down one height, lower chaturanga.
I need to see what he's doing to prepare myself for this pain of my arms. He is doing chaturanga push-up blocks, 2 full rounds, alright. And I'm going to do that too, but put some music on so you don't have to hear me huffing and puffing. Oh, I don't know if I can do that, hang on. No copyright music. I wonder what this is. No copyright music. I have no idea what this is. Let's find out together. Oh well, it works better than my huffing and puffing. That worked?
Up. 4. Up. Left. Up. Right. Up. Last way. Climb it up. Up. There we go. Last one. On the top of your plank, hold forward, shift forward. Hold at the top. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, shift forward, 2, 1. Slide the feet. Lift the butt up. We'll hold. Reverse. For 30 seconds. Lift up as high as you can. Try not to let the heels slide back. Keep lifting. It's okay if they do, but keep just pressing forward, lifting the hips a little bit higher.
I'm like so shaky.
Last 10. Slide it back. Take the block down to go to the lowest height for our right leg. Then step onto the right block with your right foot. Come into a standing splits. You can keep this left block here for balance if you need it. Or if you really want to challenge yourself, take it away. Just bring the hands down. Stand up. Draw the left knee into the chest, really challenging through the balance here. I know the legs are a little bit shaky. Extend out through the right leg. And we're going to slowly lower into our pistol. From pistol, take it up. Standing splits. Try to keep your balance best you can. Rise up. Draw the left knee into the chest. Extend the left leg forward. Slowly lower down. Back up, standing splits. Draw the knee into the chest. Reach the left leg forward. Lower nice and slow. Standing splits. This will be the last one. Bring it up. Extend left leg forward. Lower. Standing splits. We'll hold this for 10, 9, 8. Soften the outer left hip. Pull the inner thigh up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set the leg down. Give the legs a little shake. A little stretch out. Grab onto your blocks. Come into our forward fold. Feet or halfway forward fold. Up. Try to keep the feet as close to the blocks as you can. Lower down. Slide out.
So now I've got the other side of these gnarly split things. And I know he's going to be way too fast to me. So I've got my own pace. Only 4, only 6 to go. My feet are getting sticky, and they're not sliding as much. Resistance. More to go. Can we make it? And here's the hard work you all talk about and want the magic key to. It's not really pretty, but it's worth it. That's the thing you have to understand. 3 to go. It doesn't really feel great at the time either.
Wurden meine Fotos zum Internet und ich hatte nicht mal eine Website. Als das Interesse dann immer...
Bring it up. 2. Left leg. Last one. 1. Come in. Pause pause in our splits. Again, if you could go all the way down, you know you can. Or just take it to a level that's somewhat comfortable with you. You know. I didn't mention this too, but for those of you that are over flexible, you know, a lot of you don't have to talk to you so much because you've done so much time in your flexibility. You already know how to modify and adjust for yourself. But if over splits is something for you, feel free to put a block underneath your leg and come into the over splits version. You know, we're always trying to modify for our body, and the more that we work in the props and stuff, usually the deeper we're able to go in the long run, rather than just struggling trying to do the full variation of the pose when the body's not ready. Another 10 seconds. Lift yourself back up. Plant the blocks.
I don't want to.
Sit back down. 2 more of these.
Motherfuckers.
Bring the hands or the elbows onto the blocks. Really challenging with these things are going to make you really strong. Lift the butt, lift the knees up, lift the butt as high as you can. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. One more. You know, if you can't even get these or even start to, you know, the best thing to do is just start here like this. Keep the butt lifted. If you feel the work happening, then you're doing the work, you know? And you'll get it, eventually. Or you have it now, who knows? Lift the butt, lift the knees, we'll go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down.
Good
Sit
enough.
back. Come into our plank. Nice and high. Lower. Chaturanga. Take it up. Right side starts.
Oh, this is killing me. My shoulders are going to be so sorry tomorrow. Struggle is real, guys. Good Lord. Oh, that hurt. Pistols. You know, if I'm too shaky to do these crazy things. This is my non-balanced side. Since I rolled my ankle and pulled off the toenail only a couple of months, a few years ago. Perfect timing. So that was Dylan Warner, True Strength Evolution 3, Day 2, Death by Dylan Warner. Might add at the end. So today was an example of you guys how showing up doesn't always look like the videos or the pictures. Showing up isn't really easy all the time, especially when you've lost strength or things that you knew you once could do. But if we don't show up, we can't become our better selves tomorrow, or we can't regain the things we lost, or we can't create better futures or be good examples for those of us around us that also want to grow. It's not about where you are, although it feels like it at the time because our ego grips on. It's about where we're going to. It's about what we're doing now to feel satisfied that we're changing our futures for tomorrow. We can sit here complaining and regretting and making excuses, but the next day you're going to feel just as dissatisfied because you didn't do anything to work towards those goals, those dreams, those changes of tomorrow. So if you're one of those people struggling now and disappointed in where you're at, you're not alone. That's pretty much every human in some aspect of their life. But you know you have the power to change, just like me. I showed up even though I really didn't want to. Not only did I not want to train this program, but I didn't want to show up in front of you guys, but I did it because I wanted you to see that I'm just an everyday human fighting my own internal wars and also struggles to become a better person in certain areas of my life. And I'm going to do that in front of you guys if that helps you in some way to realize that you're not alone in your struggles, that there is no perfection behind showing up, that there is no easy in getting your dreams, and you're not alone with your struggles. Then I hope that I helped in some way to inspire someone else to know that they can too. This is 5 years of work to get to where I am today, and I'd say I've dropped a reverse to a few months of strength work just by all the shit going on in life right now. But even though there's a lot for me to deal with, I'm still doing my best to show up as I am, and that's all I can do, and that's all you can do. So if you're doing an exercise program that says Monday to Friday, 5 days a week, and you do say 4 days, take the pressure off yourself and instead just go day by day by day. Take out the weeks, and as long as you're consistently showing up when you can and you're doing your best, even if you skip a couple of days, you don't have the pressure of getting it in from 1 week to the next. You just have to make sure you do one day after the next as best you can in your schedule. These programs, these things set for us are all ideals, but it doesn't mean it works for us ideals. What works for us is doing the best we can, showing up how we can. So if 1 week you do 4 days and the next week you do 6 days of your program because you had more time, that's also going to be effective because you're still showing up and doing that fitness routine that you have. So remember to mold it to you and stop feeling like you're lacking when you don't fit to the ideals of society. You have to make society's gifts of examples of what to do work for you in your lifestyle. And when you start doing that and stop showing up for the perfection, stop showing up for expectations of your head that no longer serve you, of society that no longer serve you, and show up for the best you can do, that's when things start to really change and you start to enjoy the journey and you start to make progress because you stop focusing on all that you aren't and you start realizing all that you can do. Remember, if you want to be happy, don't ask why you're unhappy. Ask what you can add to your life to make you happy right now. If you want to be fitter, don't ask why you're not fit. Ask yourself, what things can I change right this very moment, and what things can I implement to make me one step closer to being more fit, or to lose that extra weight that makes me more healthy, or to eat a little cleaner. You know, instead of choosing the chocolate bar at 4 p.m, choose an apple. It's that simple. Instead of having a bacon and egg McMuffin at McDonald's, you could just start with having a plain muffin, taking out all the extra grams of fat and everything, and it's just a little bit better, and then slowly step into maybe having some fruit for breakfast. One step at a time, small steps are what's going to make it, just like a child learning to walk. So it's up to you now, guys. The question you want to ask yourselves is, are you showing up for you? And what things can you implement right now to make one step closer to your dreams? Because there's something everyone can do. And the first and foremost thing that you can do right now is give yourself a pat on the back and say congratulations to yourself, because you're here, you're alive, you've got an opportunity to change your life. It's just up to you whether you're willing to choose it. So thanks for joining me and have a great day. And remember, you are awesome. Ciao!